by the way, just before Sim starts, happy birthday to our colleague, Dorrit Matthews, who works here with us. Dorrit, I hope you have an absolutely amazing day today, and I pray that you live to see many, many, many more. My good friend.
Same dough.
Yep. Happy birthday.
Dough.
My good friend. What's the first one?
This is not good news. The Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christoph Dunn, reporting that another patient has died from COVID-19, while 98 people have tested positive for the virus. This brings the number of deaths now to 15. The patient is a 74-year-old man from Clarendon. Meanwhile, the minister says of the 98 new cases, 10 are backlog cases, while 88 are new samples.
88 in the last 24 hours.
This brings the total number of confirmed cases since the outbreak in the island to 1,290. I was watching the press conference last night. The minister said at this point, there is sufficient spread for us to assume that everybody with whom you come into contact is a potential source of the virus. Chick or child, matters not. What they're seeing indicates, and they're indicating it in enough communities around Jamaica, that at this point you just have to behave like everybody with whom you come into contact is a potential carrier of the virus.
5 in St. Thomas, 7 in Clarendon, 4 in St. James, 17 in St. Catherine, 53 in Kingston and St. Andrew, 3 in St. Mary, 3 in St. Anne, 2 in Westmoreland, and 4 in Manchester. The minister said 10 were imported, 8 arriving from the United States and 2 from India. 7 were contacts of confirmed cases, while 80 were under investigation, and 1 was locally transmitted, and them can't kind of figure out why. 16 more patients have recovered, which is good news, but...
I'm telling you, we don't get it. We don't get it. I left here Monday night on my way home. I was telling Delia. I mean, that day we were all so shocked because of the announcement that the PM had made with the new cases and the communities that were under observation. And I leave here Monday night and I couldn't pass Chelsea properly.
Party.
Car go all the way up almost to the top of...
Party.
Right? And droves of people walking into I don't know where.
Party.
No masks, no... And I'm like, what is that? We are not understanding.
Yep. And by the way, this 88 would not reflect what went on Tuesday. So I suspect that is
Nomination day? Monday? When is it? Tuesday?
It was Tuesday. Yeah. So I suspect that we're going to hear some more when...
Well, the CMO is saying that their research shows that everybody in Jamaica is aware of COVID-19. So people know. People just think that it won't reach them, which is the problem, right? Because if you have awareness, that's great. But if awareness is not being converted into behavior change, then you have a problem.
And some people just refuse to wear the mask. I had on one and somebody asked me if I was sick. And I said no, and him say, well...
No, you?
Why you have it on? It's only sick people wear masks. By the way, having said that, the backlog has been cleared. Remember they said they had 10,000 and they said 2,000, and even, as Sim said, 10 were from the backlog of the 98. So now the backlog has been cleared. So I suspect every time we hear something now, it's a current case.
Mm-hmm.
And 88.
I hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
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 Okay, that's good news.
Yeah, the backlog has been cleared because apparently we got a COBA 6800 system that helped all of that. So
yeah. Big up all the folks who are doing this testing. I know people are working day in, day out, and very little time off and very little sleep to get these cases cleared. So thank you to the folks who are doing that.
And then you would have heard about the JDF lockdown.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Well, the JDF says in a bid to keep its members healthy and physically capable of executing duties and responsibilities to the nation, it confined all military camps, bases, and duty stations with effect from yesterday, which means essentially that they're locking down facilities. So?
Can't go in, can't come out.
4 cases of COVID-19 have been recorded since the pandemic began. Of the 4, 1 has since recovered, and the other 3 are currently in isolation receiving treatment. Okay. Well, they're mandating JDF-approved face masks, thank God, while on duty.
Yep.
And they too have embarked on aggressive internal communications to help drive the awareness of COVID-19 prevention best practices.
We move on. Education Minister Carl Samuda says the government has heard the pleas of the leaderships of the Jamaica Teachers Association and the Jamaica Independent Schools Association. He says this will see teachers receiving a one-off payment of $40,000 each, while support staff will get $10,000 each. He said this on Wednesday while speaking with the JTA's 56th annual conference, or speaking at the JTA's 56th annual conference at the Montego Bay Convention Center. He said, we have heard the concerns raised by our private schools, and our colleague and friend Owen Speed said private schools need help. Support has been approved for teachers in private schools under the CARE program offered by the Ministry of Finance. And the final one.
I want to know about school.
You still want to know about school?
Final one. Joe Biden urges Americans to choose hope over fear. This would have been at the DNC conference being held over the last couple of days in the States. He would have accepted officially his nomination last night as a Democratic hopeful for President of the United States. He led his address lamenting the amount of anger and fear in America, said it was time to choose hope over fear, facts over fiction, fairness over privilege. And now, world, we wait to see how this one pans out.
What a speech by Barack Obama.
Oh,
I think it's the first time I heard him come out and say Donald Trump. He came out and him kind of gave him a hard time, you know. What a speech, a 20-minute speech, and you know, even the way he handles the prompter, he's so comfortable, you know. He's so comfortable and.
It was such a stark
difference, You're
contrast.
right. Well, let's see, because the first time I said, man, they can't win, not at all, and him wins. So.
That's why I said, no, we wait.
Yeah.
No, we wait.
I am going to say it again. Him cannot win. Simple.
I'm not.
And Harris, the ticket. I think she related to Delia. We need to get her here and smile.
That would be great.
Yeah. All right, folks, we're going to go for a break, and then when we come back, we have News in 5. Stay with us, please.